deep breath in. And out. If you wish to place your hand on your heart and your hand on your diaphragm, on your belly, breathing big deep breath in all the way down so you move your belly. And then move your chest. And then breathing out. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Now relaxing your hands. Now expanding out your awareness in a big bubble all around you. Up into the sky and down into the earth. Much like you're in the center of a big, huge beach ball. Now expanding out the bubble, greater than the country that you're on. Expanding out your awareness, greater than the planet. Greater than the solar system. Greater than the galaxies. Expanding out your awareness, greater than the universes. Focusing once again on your body, breathing in and out, really feeling that breath moving through your belly and your ribs as you focus on your allowance and breathing that in. And as you breathe out, imagine the bubble around you of allowance expands. And every breath out, it expands again and again and again. As you breathe out, your allowance goes greater than the country that you're on. Breathing in and expanding out your allowance greater than the planet. Breathing in. Expanding out your allowance greater than the solar system. Breathing in. Expanding out your allowance greater than the galaxies. Expanding and breathing in. Expanding out your allowance greater than the universes as you breathe out. Breathing in once more. Nice big deep breath. And as you breathe out, expanding your allowance greater than your awareness. We've spoken a lot about self-love. So what I'd like to invite you to is in this nice, spacious place that we are right now. I'd like you to move one hand back to your heart. And right now, I'd like you to imagine 3 things, or bring into your awareness 3 things that bring you to a place of peace, of calmness, of happiness. I would recommend probably staying away from family. Might be things like the trees or the ocean, a beloved pet. Could be the physical act of creating something. Could be sitting down to a beautiful meal. Could be receiving hugs and kisses from your loved ones. It could be a smile shared between strangers. And as you focus on each of these things, whatever it is for you, imagine that those things are swirling around you in miniature form. And as we're talking, you might come up with more than 3 things. You might have 5 or 10 things. If you have lots and lots of things that make you feel happy and calm and content and peaceful and enthusiastic about life and loved, lovable and honored and respected. If you have lots of things that fit those categories, allow them to keep swirling around you right now. And as you observe each one of those things, feel the smile on your face just growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Tune in with your heart. How does that feel? Both your energetic heart and your physical heart. As these things that keep you feeling happy and calm and peaceful and joyous and exuberant about living life. Tune in with your belly. How does that feel right now? Does focusing on these elements of joyousness, of happiness, of peace and ease, of excitement and enthusiasm for life, how does that make your belly feel, to your internal organs? How does your digestion system feel? If you're somebody who's been in survival mode for a very long time, this is probably going to feel a little strange. And if you find that there's any funny little gremlins starting to float in, this is where boundary creating is really important. Say, thank you, but no thank you. You can move on now. And gently move them away from your space. As we're doing this, as these wonderful, happy, joyous elements keep floating around you, I'd like you to have a look at your hips and your reproductive organs now. How are they feeling? Are they warm? Are they flexible? Are they ready to receive? And now your legs, your thighs, your knees, your shins, your calves, your ankles, your feet, your toes. Just focus on each of those points. How are they feeling now that you're completely surrounding yourself? And you can see all these little miniature versions of all the things that make you feel happy and peaceful and joyous and enthusiastic about life and calm and creative. Makes you desire to engage in life with yourself and with others. All these things where you feel loved and lovable. How does that make your legs feel? How does that make your knees feel? And your ankles? And your feet? Moving back up the body. These things, these elements keep swirling around in this beautiful symphony of movement, like the synchronized underwater swimmers. And now focusing on your shoulders and your back. You might be starting to feel some of the weight is lifting off of your shoulders and away from your muscles and your tendons and your ligaments. Some of that tension that has been there for a very, very, very long time, especially if you've been in your survival mode. Just keep observing all of those things that are currently swirling around gently, beauty. Maybe it's something as simple as a sunrise or a sunset. It might be the smell of a beautiful flower. It might be holding hands with your loved one as you walk along. It might be sitting in meditation in the beautiful forest. Whatever it is for you, it's absolutely perfect. Feel what it feels like Remembering that the more that you do this and the more things that you focus on that bring you joy and peace and love and enthusiasm for life, the easier it is for your brain to go, oh, that's what we're experiencing right now. And it lets the trauma go. It allows your body to move from being in the sympathetic or even the dorsal vagal systems and moving it back up to the ventral vagal system. And finally, as we move up through the neck, where we obviously hold a lot of tension, as we've surrounded ourselves with all these beautiful, wonderful, nice, light, happy things, happy moments, things that give us peace and ease and joyousness and love. All the self-love we could ever desire. I venture you to have a quick look in the brain, your energetic brain, your subconscious and conscious mind, and just witness the ego. At this moment, the ego might be cracking the shits, and that's okay. Just keep breathing. At the moment, what you're doing is you're teaching your ego that it's okay to relax. You are teaching your ego that it's okay and that it's safe to be in your ventral vagal system. Right now, you are actively overriding your ego system, which has done a jolly good job of having you in your sympathetic or your dorsal systems to keep you safe. So in this moment, I invite you to focus on your heart and sending heaps and heaps of unconditional love all the way up from Mother Earth, through your body, through your heart, all the way through to the ego. If it helps to imagine your ego as a little version of yourself, that's okay too. And if that helps, please do it. And in doing so, wrap around them like a fire blanket, this warm, comforting blanket of unconditional love. Allowing the ego to finally take a breath. Allow the ego, as it begins to absorb the unconditional love which is wrapped all around it at the moment. That nice warm blanket of unconditional love. The ego starts to breathe. And breathe deeply. And breathe deeply again. And with every breath, the ego is finally beginning to step down. The ego is allowing the body to return to a ventral vagal state. Because now the ego knows what it feels like to be literally wrapped up in unconditional love. And this unconditional love is coming from not only from Mother Earth, it's coming directly from you. It's the unconditional love that you have for yourself. Whether you admit it or not. And I'd like you to imagine that there is a beautiful park bench. And it is shaped in the most perfect way. And there is a beautiful garden with gorgeous flowers. And it's wonderfully manicured. There's hedges and roses and whatever your favorite flowers are. And now you invite the ego to sit at this park bench and enjoy the view. They don't have to work today. The ego is finally, after a very, very long term of service, having a holiday. As you continue to breathe deeply, notice how different your body feels now. All those beautiful things that you have surrounded yourself with. Imagine now they turn into teeny tiny little specks of magic. These teeny tiny little specks of magic are going to sprinkle themselves all over you like a bunch of beautiful little freckles. Magic dust scattered from the top of your head all the way down to your tips of your fingers and your toes. And everywhere one of those pieces of magic floats onto your skin, it teaches your cells what it feels like to feel joy, happiness and love and peace and enthusiasm for life and creativeness and connection and enjoyment for being alive. Taking a big deep breath in and breathing out. Just noticing how different your body feels right now. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth all the way up. Just feel how different that feels now. Like you're quite tickly. Like little fairies floating up your skin. And breathing out and bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone coming all the way down. And for the first time it could be that you feel like Father Sky actually feels like warmth, like a big beautiful hug wrapping around you. Enjoy. One last breath. So really get that feeling of what it feels like to have all that beautiful unconditional love coming all the way up through our body as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Please remember to have a drink of water. You may like to journal, write down how that felt, what things were in your space around you. Help to bring those things very real into your reality. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And until next time, be bold, be brave, and be you, my beautiful.